different types of content you can write. So the first type of content you can write is a teaching type of content. So that content will be something like a how-to post, or it can be like the direct steps to do something. I like to tell people or think of it in terms of like a recipe. So, pull out my notes. So if you were going to write a recipe, you would write out, and here's the ingredients you need, here's what you need to do, so forth, so on. Now, the reason you want to write teaching content, the benefits of writing teaching content, is that it positions you as an expert. And that's what we all really want. It is massive on visibility. And it also will position you as an expert within the groups, your own group, which is really where you want to position yourself. When it grows your following, it gives your followers tons of value to show that you really know what the hell you're talking about, rather than you're just another one that regurgitates what you hear. And it also establishes you as authority. So all of these things are really beneficial to teaching content. When I am working with my clients, I tell them like they need to do a month of teaching content. I know we all want to have this deep inspirational story, but there needs to be some action. There needs to be value. Think about when you started out, and I'll use this for an example. If I don't know how to paint my nails, my first thought is to go to Google, and what I'm going to type in there is how to paint my fingernails. So I like to think of my teaching content in terms of what I would type into Google. Everyone is trying to learn how to step up their game. And there's certain things that we feel insecure about. Sometimes we don't have a problem with it at all, but we don't know that until we start working with a coach. It's our own insecurities because we're our own worst enemies. So with that being said, what you want to do is think of what you would Google and write your content that way. You know, like what problem are you solving? So again, teaching content is anything that you can teach, whether it's strategy, whether it's how to tie your shoe, whatever it is that you teach. It's going to position you as the expert. It's going to give your followers value, and it's going to help you grow your following. So those are very beneficial. The next piece of content is going to be inspirational content. So this is kind of your rags to riches story, but obviously you want it to fit within your own story. Now, people will skip this how-to part and they'll just go straight to the inspirational part. And that kind of stinks because you're not positioning yourself. And most of the time, inspirational content doesn't give something someone can do. It just allows them to feel. And it's hard to feel accomplished or feel like you got a result when there are no actual steps to do it. Does that make sense? Now, once you establish yourself as an expert with your teaching content, then you can go in and do your inspirational content. Really, where were you whenever you started your business? Did you have a high, a low? What was your struggle? Something that really transforms your client to let them know that it's possible, or that there's growth ahead, or that it's not really hard. Whatever it is that you use to inspire in terms of growing your business. Okay, so number 2 is going to be inspirational content. Okay, so number 1 was teaching content, and number 2 is inspirational content. Okay, so number 3 is going to be your connection content. Okay, so this content connects with your readers or your audience at a deeper level. This is one that I suggest that once you've mastered teaching and once you've mastered inspirational by telling your story, then you move on to connection content. Connection content is something that's going to go deeper than your story. It's going to touch them in their story where they're at now. So, you know, it could be that it's those things that really pull it in terms of like, okay, if you believe firmly in a vegan lifestyle, even though you're a business coach, then you can share different things about what you do behind the scenes, how you eat, because that's going to draw in that audience and weed out the ones that are like, no, that's completely crazy, not doing it, whatever. So this connection content really connects with your client at a deeper level. So it's beyond your story. It allows them to see that they can show up as themselves and share their story and really who you are and how they shouldn't be ashamed or embarrassed or kind of hold back of who they are. So it will inspire, but it will really kind of pinch a nerve or let them know that everything that they do, there's possibilities out there, that there's growth out there, that things may seem hard, but they won't remain hard. Do you guys have any questions, by the way, for me? It can be about the topic or not about the topic. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and start putting them in the comments, and then I will answer them at the end. So your connection content is just really going into a deeper level of inspirational, and it's more focused on what you've been through, good, bad, and ugly, and how you connect with them on a deeper level. Hey, Shauna, you guys have any questions? I was just telling them that they can put them in the comments. So let's do a quick recap. So the first one was teaching content. That's what positions you as an expert, gives that authority to your audience. It grows your following, and it gives your followers actual value that they can implement and see that you're not just crazy. That the stuff that you tell them really does work. Okay. Then number 2 was inspirational content. That's kind of your rags to riches, how you felt, what you went through. It doesn't have to be, I lived in my car and now I'm a billionaire. That's not really what it is meant to be or always meant to be. And then number 3 is connection content. So it's where you connect with them at a deeper level, things that are outside business, like if you're a vegan or if you believe in eating cupcakes every day, that would be mine. If you're a taco fanatic, like myself. Whatever it is, it's really just an inside look of your life and how you just show up as yourself. Like for myself right now, not feeling overly well, but still showing up. I show up with my hair looking crazy. I show up looking a hot mess, whatever, because in the end, it's really just about me being here and being present because I am my brand. So it's about really authenticity and really connecting at a deeper level with your audience. And by the way, the benefit of connection content is that it builds that like, know, and trust factor quicker. So you've got your how-to that positions you. People will start to like you, but to really kick that off, that connection content is it kind of seals the deal there. Hey, Toby. So then from there, our final piece would be sales content. Okay. So without sales content, you really can't make any money. You have to be able to sell. So you have to be able to identify those pain points and what your ideal client is going through. If you're not using yourself as your ideal client, then here's what's going to happen. You're going to, hey, Sylvia, I just seen that you popped on. You know how Facebook is. You guys have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll get to them at the end. So sales content is what really drives it home. So you've been nurturing and nurturing and nurturing. And if you do like I did when I first started, you'll be about 4 months into your business and you're still nurturing and still giving away for free because you're kind of scared to make that leap. Sales content is what makes that leap. So you've been selling with each type of content that you've created. So whether it's teaching and inspirational connection, but now it's really time to put a dollar sign on there. And this content really, people are ready by the time, if you follow these 3. So if you did teaching content for 2 weeks, then you did teaching content and added in inspirational once or twice a week. And then you did that for a couple weeks and then you added in connection content. By the time you get to your sales content, and it doesn't have to be like that time frame, obviously be shorter, but by the time you get to your sales content, people are dying to hit that buy now button. But you have to nurture them into the buy now. So with the sales content, it's not different than writing your value, except for you're going to put all 3 of them together. So you're going to start out with a story, and you're going to tell them why this is very beneficial to them, and then how it's going to help them, and then why they need it, why it's important, what result are they going to achieve, what can they overcome. And if you don't know their dream and desire, then start with one of the 3 main points, which is your Everyone wants at least time or money. So start with those and kind of branch out to find that deep desire and end result that they are looking for. Without that result, nothing's going to sell. So if you're really kind of hiding behind well, I don't want to get specific because what if they don't get it? You are going to struggle to make sales. You have to put that promise out there. Hey, Chandra. So without putting that out there, it's just not going to work. I know it's scary, but in the end, you know what you're doing. It's time to show everyone else that you know what you're doing. And you can't not get specific because then people will see that's just vague. They're going to get results if they show up and do the work. But if you don't tell them what results they're getting, then they're never going to sign up. So here's a fun exercise you can try, kind of start overcoming that fear of selling in specifics. So you can ask your audience to, like on your value post or whatever, to comment. So that simple call to action is selling because you're asking them to do something. You can ask them to download your freebie. That's still selling. Selling doesn't always have to be with a $sign. So you can create a freebie post, like if you have a download, whatever, and write it in sales content. And the only thing you'll eliminate is the $sign. Ask them to follow you on social media. So create a standalone post and tell them why they should follow you on social media, why they should join your group. Those types of things are still selling. And if the scary part is asking someone for money, then start slowly as you're writing your value content and as you're going through the steps of connecting, go slowly through and start doing these standalone posts for free content. By the time you get to about 6 weeks, you will be ready to add that $sign, I promise. Quick recap. Number 1 is going to be your teaching content. Number 2, your inspirational content. Number 3, your connection content. Number 4, your sales content. Now, I told you guys I would tell you which one was my favorite to write. And my favorite content to write is teaching content. It comes naturally to me. I love doing it. Plus, when I see someone get results from the content that I wrote, it really motivates me to write more. So that is my favorite one to write.